you guys, and we are in Marbella, Spain now. I'm so excited. I absolutely love it here. I think I'm going to say we've only been here for about 24 hours, but I think it's my favorite part of Spain so far. I think just because of the beachiness, but there's a little bit more going on than intermediness, so I love it here. We are currently at this restaurant called Delicioso. It is a gluten-free restaurant that was recommended by my friend Chloe at Chloe's Countertop, so I will leave her handle here. If you guys aren't already following her, you should go check her out. But she sent me all of the really good plant-based vegan recommendations from Marbella. So Eric and I are going to check a couple of those out in this vlog and take you guys with us. And in this vlog, I'm also going to be talking about a couple tips for Instagram growth, because as you guys have probably noticed, pretty much everybody's engagement has dropped again. And instead of blaming Instagram, I think that we as a community should kind of take responsibility for our own engagement. And there are a couple tips that I'm going to start working on, and I recommend everybody else do as well. So I'm going to get to those in a little bit, but first I'm going to show you guys what we're eating at Delicioso. Pure celery juice. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I've been reading the Medical Medium book, and he's all about celery juice every morning on an empty stomach. But when you're traveling, that is surprisingly hard to find at restaurants. Most of the time if you ask for plain celery juice, they look at you like you're crazy. We tried to do it when we were in Bali, and nobody ever did it for us. They were like, they would either tell us that we couldn't do it because it would be gross, or it would just use all of their celery. But we got pure celery this morning, and I am so excited about it. It was kind of expensive, but when you don't have a juicer, you gotta do what you gotta do. My hair is looking a mess because we are down by the beach and the humidity gets to me, but we just finished getting some photos for Instagram. Gotta take photos pretty much wherever we go because it's pretty much part of my business at this point. So anyways, right now I figured I would talk to you guys a little bit about, oh dear, almost getting, look at the mini greyhound. I know, so cute. There's so many mini greyhounds in Spain. They're so adorable. I love them. We are gonna get one day, along with our 5 chihuahuas. Anyways, so you guys have probably noticed that Instagram is always changing their algorithm. So I think if we're gonna continue to use the platform, and just need to kind of make the changes as they change the algorithm, and honestly kind of stop complaining and blaming Instagram that they're lowering our engagement. We just need to get better and produce better content. So here are a few of my tips. No longer can you just post a photo. I mean, you guys know this. No longer can you just post a photo with a caption that says something like Friday vibes and expect to get the same amount of engagement that you would have gotten a couple years ago had you had posted the same photo with the same caption. So I think the caption is really, really important, and I am kind of more of a writer than anything, so I really try and focus on making my captions super engaging as possible. So even if you aren't a writer, what you can do to kind of make your captions more engaging is to either share something of value to your audience, maybe teach them something. You can tell a story, and I think a lot of the times the stories that get the best engagement or the most comments or the most interaction, the most DMs, are going to be personal stories that you are willing to tell, of course. And if they relate back to your business, if you are a business owner, that's even a bonus point. And even if you can make your story also provide some sort of value, that's like the home run for a caption. Another way, if you don't have anything necessarily like important to say or of value, you can always write something entertaining. That's another idea. Or ask a question. Something that I've learned about Instagram, well, just not really on Instagram, but just people in general, is they like to tell you their opinion on things. So even if it's not really that important of a question, even if it's something just like, tell me what your favorite coffee drink is, people want to tell you what that is for them. Usually you want to make it probably a little bit more important than that, but my arm's getting tired. So to wrap that up, in terms of the caption, either provide something of education or value to your audience that relates back to your business, provide or tell a personal story, and maybe ask for other people's opinions or ask for advice if that's relevant to your story. Telling a personal story is just like really the best way to connect with your audience. And now in terms of the photo itself, if you are somebody who is taking a lot of, like you're a personal brand, let's say, like me, a lot of the photos on my feed have me in them. And as somebody who is not a natural model, it took me a long time to get really comfortable in front of the camera and not feel super awkward. So there's a couple tips that I would give you guys if a lot of your photos are of you and you don't feel super comfortable in front of the camera. Number one, play some music while you are getting your photo taken. That can really help just like with movement and looking a little bit more relaxed and feeling a little bit more pumped up for your photo shoot. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is, I kind of mentioned it in the last tip, but try to incorporate a little bit of movement. So for me, I do a lot of like spinning around, or I'll even do a fake laugh. And the reason that I do a fake laugh is because a lot of times when I fake laugh, then I start actually laughing. So a laugh, a spin, even just like a jump through the air. Obviously you want to coordinate with your photographer and tell them when you're doing this so that they can capture it at the right time, but that can get a much more natural looking photo. Okay, tip number three for the actual photo, and I say this all the time, but lighting really is everything, especially if you're somebody who doesn't really know how to edit your photos, like you don't do Photoshop or anything like that. You definitely want to pay attention to the lighting and shoot your photos either in the morning, like sunrise time, or sunset. Not only are your photos just gonna have a lot better like color and just look a lot better, but you're also, the places that you're gonna be shooting are gonna be a lot less crowded, so you're not really gonna have to worry as much about other people in your photos. So those are my top three tips. I also, you guys, I don't really promote these that often, but Eric actually created presets. So if you like the look of my feed, Eric actually created some presets which you can download onto your phone. I will link them below, and you can easily just like, it's sort of like a filter. You just put that preset onto your photos and it instantly edits them. So if you're interested in that, I will link that below. I also have a free training that's all about the new Instagram algorithm updates as of like June 2018. So if you guys have noticed that your engagement is lowered and you want more tips on what to do about that, check out that. I will link it below as well. And now I'm gonna show you the rest of Marbella. Eric and I are walking around Marbella again today, and there are so many beautiful streets here. One of my favorite things to do is just like walk around and look at the streets and take photos and video and just explore. There are tons of shops as well. So I think the place that we are right now, which is where you guys are seeing a lot of that B-roll that Eric is getting for this vlog, is called, I think it's called Orange Square. But if you just put that like into your map and go there, so that's like, I think it was like 2 miles away from the place that we're actually staying, but we just Ubered over there, which was like €5 because it was too far to walk. And then we're just walking around these streets, and there's a lot of shopping, there's a bunch of good restaurants. It's just really beautiful. I'm just so impressed with like every single street in pretty much in Spain is just so beautiful. So like the cobblestone and the architecture is just amazing. And this street, this wall behind me is like super Instagrammable, so maybe I'll take a photo there as well. Okay guys, that is the end of our Marbella vlog. I didn't end up filming as much of like the city as I had wanted to, because yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, I got my tests back from the doctor and found out that I have 2 different parasites. So most of our time in Marbella has been spent with me on the computer doing like a bunch of research. And I've been talking about this a lot on Instagram stories about like what I'm gonna do to get rid of them. So if you're interested in that, come over to Instagram and hang out with me on there. We are headed today now to Malaga. So we're gonna be in Malaga for 2 more days. And then I will update you guys where we're going after that. So obviously here on YouTube, I'm gonna continue to do like our travel vlogs and stuff like that, but I'm thinking after Malaga, we might go somewhere for like an extended period, maybe like 7 or 8 days. And I'm gonna kind of do my parasite protocol healing type thing, but I will probably be vlogging that because what I've shared on Instagram so far, you guys are really interested in what I'm doing, how I found out I have parasites, and what you guys can do if you have the same issue. So definitely hit that red subscribe button if you are wanting to follow along with our travels, or you want more updates on parasite stuff, because it's a lot more common than I would have thought. So Anyways, I will check in with you guys from Malaga. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit the red subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already. Also, come hang out with me on Instagram. And lastly, if you want more tips on how to work with the algorithm to boost your engagement, make sure to sign up for my free training that I will link down below, and also check out Eric's presets. I'll put those down below as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!